Échale, mijo. Échale, mijo.
Century later, they were ruling what was like the holy region They have this four balls. To the Orient. Sorry, to the Orient. Yes. First house that he built. Chinese pottery.
Yo fui revolucionario y peleé contra Barrón, era un viejo estrafalario.
It's like learning the underground all over again.
Yeah, it's nice. So we don't have like a nice
When I was going to find something, but
This is
where I was
post
at.
office.
Yeah, it's a beautiful building because, as you may think, what you think about it. Yeah, but this is Juárez, Frida Kahlo, Diego Rivera, the mural. Because we have the reproduction of one of the murals of Diego Rivera. It's the one that you know is like the one in the.
Yeah, that's
Like the one in the.
We have a joke in America. When we hear someone do that, we ask, just how small is it?
Yes, exactly.
Just how small is it? That's what
He
we.
has to compensate with. Suadero is this part, like this part of the cow.
Kind of like shoulder, almost?
No shoulder, but underneath
Rib
it.
meat?
Yes,
Rib?
it's like a very soft meat. It's good.
I tried that.
So cabeza means head, which is the inside, the meat inside the head of the cow.
Okay. So
Surtida is a
brain?
mix. Yeah, it's kind of meat. It's
Okay.
good as well. I mean,